This mini documentary is based, or it's going to be about the differences between the Western world and the Eastern world in terms of language. I'm going to argue in this mini documentary that language is not only affected by culture, but also it's affected by the way we perceive the world. In order to understand how language is affected, we need to first see how people from the West and people from the East perceive the world. After doing some research, I found one interesting thing. People from the West see things in individual objects, while people from the East see things as a whole. Just to give you an example, a parent from the West will say to his children, "Eat the apple," putting emphasis on a single apple, the apple, while people from the East will say, "Eat the app" or "Eat apple," putting emphasis in apple as a whole. So we clearly see how language is used differently, but this doesn't only happen in language, this happens in everyday situations. For example, when people from the West take pictures to other people, they focus on the person, as you can see on this picture. They focus on the individual object, while people from the East, as you can see, or as you're gonna see in the following picture, will focus on the background, on the picture as a whole. A similar example is the following: a picture of an elephant. People from the West, again, focuses on objects, on a specific object, in this case, the elephant. But people from the East will focus and see the picture as a whole, including the background. Now, going back to language, there's another big difference on the way we use it. We can use an example of a waiter. In the West, you will normally say more tea. In the East, they will say drink more. This means that people from the West will use more nouns. They will focus more on nouns. That's why they say more tea, focusing on the word tea. However, people from the East focus more on verbs. That's why they say drink more, focusing on the verb drink. Now, the following video is an example, or gives another example on how one uses verbs and the other one uses nouns. Apparently we're having some technical difficulties trying to play the video, but I'm just gonna explain it to you real quick. The video gives an example of how Eastern people use the word arising and Western people use the word being. The word arising is another verb, and the word being is a noun which we use the Western. So this is a clear difference that people use when they speak, you know. As we can see, language is shaped by culture, and as I was arguing, it is also shaped by the way we perceive the world. It's affected by psychology, sociology, um, and the examples I gave were people in the West use objects and nouns, while people from the East focus more on verbs and also on things as a whole.